Good afternoon or evening, is it now, Mayor Gondek and councillors and administration. I'm Annette Langyel, Lengyel, a human rights advocate with Justice for Palestinians in Calgary. We're a community group that's been committed to human rights and anti-racism for the past 13 years. We oppose all forms of racism, including anti-Indigenous and anti-Black racism, Islamophobia, and anti-Semitism. And I just wanted to do a personal acknowledgement that we're standing on the colonized land of Treaty 7, the traditional land of the Blackfoot Confederacy in Mohkinstsis. You may know my name from the numerous letters I've sent you over the past year, Mayor Gondek, after you had announced last November that there was a multi-million-dollar Green Line LRV contract awarded to Construcciones y Auxiliar de Ferrocarriles, or CAF Group, the Spanish multinational construction corporation. Mayor Gondek, my letters to you, Council, and the Green Line Board have documented and exposed the dubious human rights record of the CAF Group. In addition, we at JFP have submitted an open letter to you, Council, and the Green Line Board, endorsed and signed by nearly 100 organizations and individuals. We have to date not received a reply that answers our question: how do you justify spending in excess of $400 million of public funds on a multinational corporation that is involved in and profiting from illegal colonization, racism, and apartheid infrastructure development on occupied territory? The Green Line Board PR rep sent a boilerplate letter to us, to the many who've written you on this issue. It said the Green Line Board did their due diligence, that they knew about this corporation's connection to illegal, racist, international law violating projects, but they believed CAF was still acceptable. However, it did not address our questions or concerns. It felt like a slammed door, especially after receiving the same letter from you more than once. The city was opaque about the ethics and human rights standing of your procurement process. I made FOIP requests to look for the answers you wouldn't provide regarding human rights and ethics the board may or may not have applied prior to awarding this contract. I was quoted an unaffordable amount of almost $1,000 to obtain the documents. I applied for a fee waiver. It was blocked by the deputy city clerk. My last note from the mayor's office when I requested to meet to discuss this was that I should call 311. I'd like to remind you that the CAF Group is in a consortium of corporations that are listed on the UN database of bad corporations, profiting from war crimes against occupied people. Over 35 European human rights organizations, including labor unions and international legal advocacy groups, have made submissions to the UN Commission for Human Rights to have CAF added to that list. In addition, the CAF Group is under investigation by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development and found to be in violation of OECD international guidelines for human rights and ethics. CAF is under a one-year review by the OECD for their dubious ethical business practices in connection with their contract for the apartheid rail project into occupied territory. There have been numerous new UN investigations and reports published that declare the occupation of Palestine as full-blown apartheid. The latest UN report published last month declares yet again that the many Israeli settlements on occupied Palestinian territory, with many more planned by the Israeli government, are illegal under international law, and therefore all Israeli projects servicing those illegal settlements are illegal. So if you're committed to anti-racism, you must begin by applying anti-racism and human rights policies to your contract with CAF, either making their contract conditional on withdrawing from their illegal and unethical apartheid project, or disqualify them from your procurement contract for Calgary. I wholeheartedly support efforts to make Calgary a cleaner, greener, and more just city, but let's begin by making cleaner, greener, and more transparent decisions regarding who we'll give public funds to for our investment and development projects. Justice for Palestinians urges you to drop the CAF Group and to be meticulous in doing your due diligence concerning racism, human rights, and international law in your future considerations. And I want to add, CAF is not the only complicit group under the Green Line Board's consideration. WSP Global, which the Green Line Board has shortlisted for the next phase, is also facing legal scrutiny and likely to be blacklisted in due course. Both of these companies, CAF and WSP, must be disqualified from our procurement process. This is a serious issue with multi-generational impacts and global ramifications. In closing, we understand that going back to the drawing board will be a lot of work. and there will be costs. However, this is a multi-generational project, and the decision to procure from a company under these excuse me, intense international scrutiny taints our beloved project, our city, and makes us all complicit in the perpetuation of systematic injustices and further entrenches a regime that is straying further into apartheid, fascism, and collective punishment.
Thank you, Annette. I will have to interrupt you. Your 5 minutes have been up